What's up everyone? Welcome back to Golf Simulator videos. Today I get to introduce to you an all new Flightscope golf launch monitor. This is the Flightscope Mevo Gen2. And real quick, if you guys remember, if you've been watching the channel for years, I actually back in the day had the original Flightscope Mevo, very small golf launch monitor that I used to benchmark distances and spin and launch angle and things against other golf simulator systems back in the day. But it was lacking full golf simulation play. It did not have spin access, it did not have putting, those type of features. But it was a low cost unit, right? Then came the Mevo Plus, which is still on the marketplace today, and it's providing some powerful features with all that spin access and putting and chipping. But it also has like that Pro package, data that I've shown in the channel before. It has face impact location, powerful features. Well, what does the Mevo Gen 2 bring to the table now? Well, it brings a lot. So this video is going to be a first look video, but I'm going to take you through and I'm going to show you it in action. We're going to do full shot shaping with irons, we'll do wedges, we'll do chipping, I'll do putting, we're going to do it all. So stay tuned for all of that. Right now we're going to take a close-up look at the unit and just talk about its base features, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. Now before I even do a close-up of the unit, before I forget, this is something everyone always asks, well, what's the price? Well, at the release of this video, they're actually going to be offering what they call like a pre-tariff sale price. So that's $1,195, just because there's some unknowns with, potential costs in the future. So they kind of wanted to launch it, with this pre-tariff sale price. What's cool is if you use my link and discount code down in the description and pinned to the top of the comments, you're going to save the most amount of money and get it at the absolute lowest price. So utilize all of that. I'll put that down below. But before we even move on, let's get the unit up close to the camera so you can see everything that this thing's offering. Now, you'll notice right away, this very different form factor is offering a different view from the camera. If you remember, the Mevo Plus camera is going to be much lower because it's a kind of like a wider, shorter unit. And based on my early testing, wait until you see putting in this video later on. I think they have a better view of the golf ball having the camera up higher. So more vertical unit, you can kind of see comparison to my hand, still a thin unit, very lightweight and portable. It packs a 6-hour battery, which is really nice. And it has this built-in kickstand that basically gets it, if it's on a flat surface, right to that ideal 12-degree mark. It does have a green range where you have a little bit of play along with, roll left or right. I've been using it basically perfectly level, and then right at 12 degrees, it's been working really well. It has the QR code in the back, so you can actually scan this QR code with the FS Golf app and connect it right to Wi-Fi. They've had a lot of updates, in the past here. Now you can actually connect it to your local network, do it that way. Simple power button on the front with some LED indicators telling you statuses. And then there's also a USB-C charging port. So nice to have USB-C, but very simple, lightweight, very portable. And I'll even open up the box here to kind of show you what's included as well. They, as always, very nice packaging from Flightscope. And then what's nice is because it's a portable unit, people will be using this indoors and outdoors. I mean, to this day, the amount of people that not only used original Mevo, but maybe an original Mevo Plus or the newer Mevo Pluses, they really enjoy being able to use the unit, whether it's in their backyard into a net, in a golf simulator like this. But the amount of people that use it out at the range and take advantage of that radar that's built in. You got to remember, you're using fusion tracking with camera and radar, and that's ideal in a simulator environment. I really recommend using the fusion tracking, and I'll show you more of that here in a little bit. But outside, you can use this camera for a swing camera because that has the ability to track the ball. You're not going to be using, what I'm going to show you here in a second, some metal dots or an RCT ball outside, because the radar can actually see the curvature of the ball. So you can utilize that camera for other things, especially like that new AI tracing technology that they have. But very nice carrying case. What's nice about this carrying case is that it's very thin. You're gonna be able to slide that into your golf bag really easily. And it's quality, nice kind of hard exterior. And then on the inside, real simple, you got your charging block with included cable. You've got some documentation. And then you've got included metal stickers. And that's what I kind of alluded to there just for a second. If you're going to be using this indoors, it looks like the same setup where they want the unit ideally 8 feet unit to ball. Mine's a little bit shorter. So far, 7 feet unit to ball has been working great for me. But for ideal scenarios, they really are recommending 8 feet from the unit to the ball, and then minimum 8 feet of flight. Higher ball speeds, I usually recommend if you can get 9 or 10 feet of flight, but so far based on my testing, it's been working really well. But RCT balls, that Titleist ball that has the built-in metal strip inside of it, or the metal dots for that measured spin indoors. Okay, now here's where it gets very interesting. Before we get this thing live in action, I'm going to go over some of the other details that I want you guys to know. We talked about the price, talked about the battery, the QR code and everything on it, but let's talk about the data parameters really quick. So 18 data parameters. When we're talking full swing, we're talking carry distance, roll distance, total distance, ball speed, club speed, smash factor, which is really just that division of club speed and ball speed, vertical launch angle, horizontal launch angle, spin rate, spin axis, apex height, flight time, lateral landing, angle of attack, and shot type. Now, when you move on to chipping, it's all those same data parameters minus shot type. It's not going to, measure if it was a draw or a fade for a short chipping shot. That's under 20 yards, I believe, is when it goes into that chipping mode. And what's really cool is it is a full golf simulator device offering putting, which all that needs is launch speed, total distance, and the ball direction it takes off. That's all you need for putting in a golf simulator. Now, here's what I find interesting. It is already able to provide club speed and angle of attack, and it has a higher quality camera and radar built in. So will they unlock more in this device? I hate to, have speculation, but Mevo Plus stays on the market, and it's a great launch monitor, but I'm wondering if this thing is actually going to have more capabilities. Can they unlock more in the future? Because the performance I'm getting so far is really, really solid. Now, the compatibility with software, that's always been really powerful. The device is going to have that same compatibility to go to E6. You could do TGC 2019, a little bit older software, newer software that's super popular like GSPRO, and I think that's what we're going to use today because I want to be able to show all those different things. And of course the FS Golf app, which I've shown significantly in the channel, and we can show more. Very powerful native app that comes with the device. So, you could use things like the shot tracer, like I talked about, action videos now with the data overlay. That's really cool. Best of all, that it's just lightweight and portable. Like I said, it's just a very, very simple unit to use. But other than that, we've kind of covered the basis of the hardware itself. I want to get the unit set up, and stay tuned because we're going to move and dive into GSPRO. Let's show this thing in action. All right, so we have our FlightScope Mevo Gen2 set up, and I do want to always disclose my unit is actually about 7 feet unit to ball, maybe just over. And then I have just over 10 feet ball to screen. So they actually recommend 8. Now I've noticed the unit's working quite well for me at this distance, but yeah, could I lack the ultimate performance because they recommended 8 feet? Sure, so I always want to make sure you guys understand that. I do have good flight though, ball to the screen. So if you do have the option, set that unit up at the recommended 8 feet ball to screen, but I really like the camera sitting up high. I think that it's playing an impact. It's really working well from what I can tell. And I'm connected to GSPRO. I really think this is going to be the best way to give you guys a first look at everything, and I'm going to show you how that connects. So you turn your unit on, set it up, and you're just going to go into your Wi-Fi, and you'll be able to see the unit and connect as easy as that. Once it's connected, launch GSPRO, use the connector tool. And what's nice is you can adjust that tilt and roll right inside of here. If you turn Enhanced Fusion Tracking off, you can even go in and view your camera and do alignment from here if you want. Or you just use FS Golf to kind of set everything up first, then just close it out, disconnect, and connect to your computer. Whatever is easiest for you. Make sure you go into your settings. I do have mine set 7 feet. Normal shots, chipping, and putting, 10 feet ball to screen, and then Titleist RCT we'll be using today. So I've got that all set up, and now we can just dive in, and I'm going to show you guys a lot of stuff here. So I think we'll start with some wedge shots, make sure that, I can shape wedges okay, so we'll maybe just kind of make sure they're reading left, right, all that type of stuff. We'll just set it up to, let's say about 80 yards for a 58 degree. I think that'd be pretty good. And let's just grab a club and see what we can do here. And I'm going to take you guys through full shot shaping. We'll take you through some chipping and putting. I want to show all that, so stay tuned for everything. But let's just hit a couple wedge shots here, 80 yards. Tugged that one. That's going to go a little left, even though I got the distance right. It's okay, it wasn't a bad tug. I could just tell right away when I hit it that face was a little bit closed. So let's see if I can actually set up and get the club exiting left, maybe even turn it into just a little bit of a cut. Probably generate more spin. 8,000, not bad. Not for a, 80-yard shot. 9,000 though when I cut the ball a little bit. So 2 really good wedge results right out of the gate. All right, hit one more for you guys here. It should be nice and straight. A little too much. I kind of jumped at that one a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So I'll actually kind of back off, but nice and straight that time. So let's see if I can kind of remember it's 80 yards if I want to keep it towards the pin. That should be closer and straight. So kind of demonstrating everything there. If you really want to jump at one and cut it hard and spin it hard, let's see what that would look like. So nice cut in there, and look at that spin just jump up to 10,000. So, the results that I'm seeing, especially just with like that demonstration alone, very solid. Very solid, very happy with it. I've benchmarked it against top-end camera units already, even though you're not supposed to put them there because the interference. I don't want to demonstrate it that way for you guys, but the numbers are close. I'll just say that. Maybe we can do a comparison later if you guys really want to. I can do that. It takes a little more setup and stuff. I'm just gonna grab a 7-iron. My 8-iron is still broken. I don't know where I'll go. Probably 170 because I was hitting a couple test shots. So I don't want to use an iron that I'm not used to. I have my apexes still. I'm getting fit, and I got a borrowed 8-iron still. But let's go ahead and just hit kind of a normal 7-iron shot to start off. I'm sure it'll have some curve to it. It's not like I can hit a 7-iron pin straight usually. Sometimes. Not bad. Just a little push. It was kind of, maybe a tad behind the ball that caused the face to open. But, spin a little low probably because of that. Unless I'm cutting the ball nowadays, I've noticed my iron spin's low. Probably has maybe a little to do with angle of attack. Not bad, 4 degrees down. That's kind of what I would expect on a 7-iron. Let's try to see if we can actually cut one. Toughest part is starting it left for me. Yeah, see, I can always get the ball to cut, and there goes the spin. The toughest part for me is actually getting it to work the club left enough, with the face closed enough, trusting it to where it will start left and then cut right. So let's see if we can actually do that. The nice part about Mevo as well, Gen 2 or Mevo Plus, is you don't need some specific hitting area. It's got a nice hitting area. And I can share those specs with you guys as well. But it's plenty big for most people. You've seen that in the setup. I think it's going to be either the same or very close for Gen 2, and I'll verify that for you guys too. All right, let's kind of release this club a little bit, see if we can get it started left. Should be better. Oh, it's a little left of the line. That's a really good shot for me, honestly. As far as cutting the ball. Actually kind of jumped at that. 119 ball speed, that's pretty good. Pretty good for me. You can see the carry for, this is nice. This is something that you guys should understand. That the raw carry from Mevo is a little lighter than the algorithm of GSPRO. So if you like different algorithms, you're not reliant just on flight scopes. They're going to give the ball data, the vertical launch, the spin, everything, and then you can use an alternate, software for that algorithm. It could be Awesome Golf or E6 or all these different types that they have. I'm going to do one more chance at starting the ball further left. Can I do it? There we go. That's all I was looking for. And notice, lost a little bit of distance doing it, but that's okay. That's a really, really good cut shot for me. Really good cut shot. All right, so we already showed kind of a straight shot. Let's see if we can get this ball to be a little bit of a push draw now. That's going to be a big push draw, but it's going to do it. And I'm going to get my speed and my distance. I could just tell when that took off, I was like, that's going to start pretty far right. I didn't need to probably set up that far. It's so much easier for me to hit a sweeping draw than it is, you know, a proper cut that starts left of the center line. It's just so funny. If you're wondering why, just needed to close it a little bit more, it's because I'm an inside-out player. It's just tough for me to get the club working properly left. And a lot of it has to do with restriction, you know, just not being able to clear my hips. You know, it makes it tough for me, so especially with driver. So let's go ahead and just try to not set up so far right. Make sure I'm drawing it. Yeah, so that was a little kind of fat. You can see the spin went down, but at least that time I didn't push it out too far. I could show you that I could kind of start it in the middle and then still, notice my draws are always further, but at least see how just a little bit right and then drew it to the left. So really good demonstration in my opinion of just a ton of different shots. And I like not hitting perfect shots every time. I mean, if I get a tour player and just demonstrate like, oh, it's dead straight every single time, I mean, come on, and most users of this unit are not going to be just striping the ball perfect every single time. So it's good to see different differences. So I think now, chipping and putting, really excited to show this to you guys. We can probably demonstrate right inside of the playground. I think what I'll do is I'll take you guys to the range for the flat green for putting. But this I think is going to be a good example because I want to make sure that you're going to have the ability with your launch monitor to hit a higher launching shot, you know, open club head, you know, cutting across probably, however you feel comfortable doing it, but can it pick that up? It's important, right? So let's go ahead, and that's even downhill to the pin, very difficult shot. So let's demonstrate this a couple times for you guys. Get some launch, maybe some spin if I can. Right under the ball. Oh, the pin right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. I noticed there was kind of like a tiny delay that time, and maybe it's just because I switched to the playground because everything's been like super fast. The question is like, if that didn't hit the pin, was it too far, right? And then of course when it ricochets, it goes too far. Those are kind of exactly what I'm trying to do, is get under the ball. That one, you know, launch 39, not bad. I feel like you need a little more speed, then it kind of like launches higher, spins higher. Let's do one more. I just think these are so important to be able to hit. Yeah, see that one kind of just not as much launch. I got a little more spin. I mean, getting the land. Now, if you were to come up and just try to hit a normal chip here, you're either hitting the wall of sand, or if you go over, I think the ball's just gone. Like, did that? Yeah, see, it hits the top. And when it hits the top of the hill, it's just gone. If it hits the downside of the green, it's gone as well. So I don't think it really matters. And if you were to hit it low or soft, I mean, it's just going to go right into the wall. So it's not going to. So it's vital that you're able to launch, you know, 40 degrees, wherever you may be able to launch the ball, generate a little bit of spin, and at least try to get it close to the pin in a situation like this. See how that one ends up. It was a little bit high, 41-degree launch, and decent spin. I mean, that was honestly the best one. So with a little bit of practice, I think you're able to put it within 5 feet and get out of there, you know, which is difficult. Now, what if you have a little tiny chip, more green side? You need to be able to read a little tiny chip like this. I mean, we're in the fairway, but most of the time, you're not able to putt if something's maybe in the way. It could be the rough. You're not going to putt out of the rough. So this is very important to get little tiny chips if you need them. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And I didn't even clip the ball that nice on that, and I got away with it a little bit. So try to clip this one just a little bit better. How's that? A little left. Oh, because I wanted it to be able to roll a little bit right with that break on the green. So honestly, just need to hit a little bit softer even. A little bit softer. How's that? Oh, picked it up so nice. So, practice makes perfect, and it can do short chipping. Now, I will show you one more type of chipping before we move on to putting. I think that putting is important. You guys need to see that. And from what I've seen so far, at least, I'm impressed. Now, I wanted to go to this side because at least where I can see the pin is, I think it's going to be the best opportunity to kind of show you guys at least using a little more of the green and like that bump and run style. So what is that, 15? I mean, I'm just trying to get far enough back. I want to land on the green. But I wanted to show you a couple different types of just normal chipping style. Anything under 20 yards, I think, sends these units into like a chipping mode. So it's looking for a little different, you know, ball speeds and things along those lines. So just a normal chip. Hopefully that makes it to the green. It does. Should roll out. Because those have low spin unless you're kind of hitting a nice tight little cut chip. I'm not that good at those. I mean, that might have a little more spin on it, not much. You really got to clip the ball well. I mean, those are going to work out just fine. Let's hit a low one. I'm assuming this is probably, if I get too much on this, it's going to roll by the hole. More of a low takeoff type. But look at this. I mean, I gave it a chance that time. Or if you're the type of person that hits a normal chip that just launches a little bit higher, that should stop a little more and then roll up. I mean, I pretty much have nailed every type of chip on this unit. I mean, I put some time in testing it. So for a first look video, I mean, you guys comment below what you want to see. We lost 5% of spin there, so not a whole lot. But what I think I want to do is go back to the driving range, go all the way up, and this is going to give me a dead flat, dead straight putt to demonstrate to you guys. I want to make it, because I'm going to do a short putt probably too. So, I mean, I don't know, somewhere around, I mean, that's minute adjustments. I mean, I had 12 feet kind of in my head. 12.9, that's fine, doesn't matter, whatever. I'm going to grab my putter. We're in putter mode, and I'm actually going to swap out the ball to a normal ball, not an RCT ball. So they don't recommend RCT before. I'm assuming it's now. I'll verify that with the Mevo Gen2. Full disclosure, my ball can bounce if I don't hit it just right. If it bounces, we could see less than proper readings. But the crazy part is I've done a ton of testing, and I'm just telling you this thing is, the putting is solid on it based on my testing. So we'll see if that keeps up, you know, in this first look video here. Because it has just a little bounce. Nothing crazy. Oh my gosh, how'd I leave that short? What is it, 13 feet? Yeah, I guess depending on what your stimp set at in the software, depending on how the ball maybe, you know, might not roll perfectly or the speed of your turf. Obviously, you're gonna have to get rid of or get used to speed, but man, I felt like that was so good, just other than a little more distance needed. How's that? Did that get there? I think that's enough. I think it's enough. Did I do it twice in a row? Come on. I was practicing like 10 footers, and maybe that's just kind of in my head now. We'll get this one there. That should be enough. Oh yeah. Notice how I pushed that putt just a little bit. The horizontal launch angle was 0.6 on that putt. That's what I've appreciated testing this out so far, is that if you push it a tiny bit, it's reading that tiny push. And I think that's important. I think that's really important. You don't want to not, you know, be hitting almost a degree off and not know it. So I really like that it seems to be reading that horizontal launch angle really precisely. Just a little more speed is what was needed. And I pushed that one a tiny bit. Only 0.5 that time. You got to remember, if you're a degree off, I want to say at a 10-foot putt, it has the risk of missing left or right, degree left or right. I mean, obviously you can see these are solid. I want to give you guys an opportunity to see some shorter putts too without making this a complete marathon of a video. I think it's important that if you were playing really short gimmies, you have an opportunity, or maybe you're playing 10-foot gimmies, so you need to only hit it 5 feet or so. It's important that it's able to do that. So that ball speed was 4.8. Goal would probably be to see if it can read under 3, I would think. So what's that for speed? So that was 3. It basically rolls in a 5.5-foot putt, no problem. I don't know if you're gonna get much slower than that without a very smooth roll, but let's try it. That was barely hitting the ball. 2.5, and I actually left it short, so it can read I mean, I don't think you need to hit a ball softer than 2.5, unless you're like this downhill or something. So that's fantastic that it can actually pick up 2.5. I'm just telling you that it has to be the camera sitting up higher. That was 2.7, and then what does it do? Of course, it goes in and it just went a little bit further. I'm thinking that the camera sitting up higher, I've got decent lighting, so the camera has that fusion tracking working well, and I don't have a ton of lighting. I probably could use more. I used to have a big light set up when we were doing face impact testing and everything with the Mevo Plus, and I'm not using that right now. So that's another thing that you guys should be aware of. Let's try to make one more of those. That was 2.7 ball speed. I'm impressed. And what I've also noticed is that when the ball hits the bump, it's kind of taking off a little bit left and right after, but I feel like that they've changed things and it's measuring in like a couple feet now because the putt also takes off fast. It doesn't have some big delay. I may be speculating a lot here. They haven't confirmed any of that, but the fact that I'm just sitting here hitting these little putts, I mean, I'm barely hitting that. 2.5, should be just short. There you go. Guys, this has been a first look at the all-new FlightScope Mevo Gen2. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to think in the comments. We have a lot more to do. I mean, this is a first look video. I tried to take you through a bunch of different paces, show you a bunch of different things. But you know, I'll show you some FS Golf stuff. We'll show you different software if you want to see that. I do have to do a full driver review. I wasn't just prepared to do that. We'll probably even do it with on-course play though. I'll always love doing on-course play. We can go out and play 9 or 18 holes. Let me know what you want to see. But man, for just getting my hands on this unit and going through all of the different paces, everything I've seen so far, and I've even benchmarked it against some high-end units, really like what I see so far. Excited to see what they could potentially unlock. I mean, can this thing bring those additional data points to the table? Because it just seems so powerful. Like, are they gonna get path and face? Are they gonna get impact, that type of stuff? I mean, if the putting and everything is working this well, you'd think that it potentially could unlock more. You would think. Stay tuned. There'll be a lot more coming soon.